Hey everyone, welcome to the Bitcoin video today. It is Monday. It is the day of the Bitcoin halving. It is May 11th, 2020, currently about 9:18 a.m. And yeah, we are looking for Bitcoin to complete its halving. Probably within the next hour or so. It's going to be pretty interesting. So like right around 10 a.m. So within about an hour or so, um, I believe we're going to be seeing this happen. Of course, it all is. Let's see here. No, it's going to be a little more than an hour. I'm just looking at the countdown here. So yeah, we do actually have about 5 hours to go. But nonetheless, it is going to be happening today. So expect some pretty crazy price movements over the next 5 hours. But of course, before I get into any of this, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. And so I appropriately named this video "The End Was Near" because my video that I did, I believe it was on Friday, it was "The End Is Near." And this was back when Bitcoin was trading at about 99.60 or so. I just went back and just did a real quick review of that, saying that, Bitcoin was probably going to be falling, the end is near, and it turns out that it was. We've dropped a decent amount since then, and what I want to do is I want to talk about, where we could potentially be going next, and are we actually going to be, continuing downward? Are we going to continue going down? And my initial answer to that question is yes, we are going to continue going down, and especially within the next 5 hours or so. But what happens after that? What happens after that? Okay, so let me go into the chart, and we'll just kind of take a look at this. All right, so here's our current top. We were talking on the Discord about a potential head and shoulders in the making, which would target us back down here to about the 7,600 levels. But we're not going to get too caught up on that just quite yet. And if you take a look at the video from Friday, I go into in great detail what this entire count looks like. And again, we talked about this whole correction and how it's very busy. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to get into it, but just really quickly, W, X, Y, X, and then we're working on the Z, right? So we have this A, we have a B, and then we're going to be going in for the C, which is going to be lower, right? Let's just be honest. It is going to be lower. Right now, the 3-hour is showing a little bit of strength, all right? So which is why I say this has to take time. We have to just kind of consolidate here in order for us to see lower prices. We really shouldn't violate this high up here. That high up there is actually pretty important. Okay, so just looking from a horizontal perspective, just looking at candles. All right, let's go and take a look here. This right here, and this right here. All of these are in confluence with each other if you haven't noticed. All right, I'm going to pay attention to this right here. All right, so we are seeing some validation here in this level. So we've got, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here just a little bit more so we can see this a little clearer. So right here we have a break up and a little bit of support, and then it fell through. And then we had cluster of resistance. We had more resistance here. Then it broke up, tested it once, tested it twice, and then it went up. All right, and that's what took us up here into this range. And we'd marked this as a red zone. We had this marked a long time ago. And so this move up here, just almost 10,100, is right below it. That was our current top. All right. We had this level that we were watching, which was 97.75. I've said that numerous times on the Discord. We punched that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally fell through. And then we did a retest, a bearish retest, and a huge fail. Huge fail. Okay. So now, what did we just do? So we have this level here, which is at about 91.50. Okay, about 91.50. Had been support and resistance and support. Now it's resistance, 91.50. Okay, we had a good rejection off of there. I added a little bit to my short at about 91.30, I think, somewhere in that range. Um, and now we're trading below 9,000 again. So we definitely have a couple different levels. 89.50 is important, but the one that's important for me is 91.50. All right, 91.50 is the important level to hold on a move to the downside or for continuation to the downside. Now, what are we looking at here? All right, excuse me, I think I'm getting a little bit of the cold, but we'll see. So let's move into this guy right here. All right, so we've got swing high up here at 10,085. Swing low at about 8,100, right? So we did get all the way down to about 8,100. We tried to push through the 50. We've currently got rejection, but we have this support here at the 382 at about 8,800. All right. I think we're going to bounce around here for a while, and it could be we bounce around here for the next couple hours. Okay, but is that going to be a technical pivot? Like, are we done there? That's a good question. So let's take a look on a move A and then a B. I think it's very likely that we move up here to almost 9,300. It is very likely that we make a move up there. So I had a tiny order at 91.30, but I have a bigger order up here at about 92.75. 92.75, 9,300. It is very, very possible that we move up there. Okay, so let's just go ahead, knowing that that is our 123.6 extension. Let me move to a lower time frame here. Let's see if we can map this out. All right, so I'm going to pull this guy, and I'm going to be doing a series of ABCs here. Okay, so from down here, we've got A, B, C, A, B, C, and then we have a little ABC, ABC there, right there, which is part of a larger A, and then A, B, C, B, and then what do we have? We're working on the C, and we kind of expect it to go up there, and what this is going to end up looking like is more like an A and then a B when this is done, and then working its way up to the C. All right, so we've got these guys on a higher degree, so let's go ahead and change this to a higher degree, and then we've got that on a lower degree, this is on a lower degree, this is a lower degree, ABC to complete that ABC, and then one more. Let's see here, this is an A, this is a B, and then we complete the C on a higher degree. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. I'm going to just kind of color change these just a little bit so it's easier to see the subdivision between all of them. Very likely we do go up higher than that. I am not going to add to any shorts right here because this looks like a bullish retest, right? So we've got this level right here, actually this entire cluster right here, which we're retesting right now, which is why I believe we're probably, you know, maybe we go a little bit lower to 87.75, but I do think that we're going to make our way up to about 93, and that's where I would be interested in adding to a short position. Again, not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You do your own trades. I don't push the buttons for you. This is just my opinion. Okay, just my opinion. And I do think that we are going to see a move up to about 9,300, but I would expect that to be the high probability zone for a rejection. Okay, I would say this is a front run of the 618. We pushed through the 50. Front run of the 618. I do think we're probably going to get back up here to about 9,300. And that is where I would be looking to potentially get out of any long positions that you might be in. I'm still holding my long from 6,000. I am hedged short right now, so I've got that going on. But this rejection right here would indicate that we're probably going to see at least 7,700. Maybe even lower. That could be the completion of a single wave to the downside, and then we're going to see, you know, more chopping, right? One thing that we do know, and we analyzed this on the Discord last weekend. I believe it was Friday night, Saturday night. Yeah, it was Friday night. We were having a chat and we were talking about what happened during the last Bitcoin halving. So let me see if I can do this really quickly here. Going back to the daily time frame, let's go back to the halving, which I think was July of 2016. It was right. Yes, I believe this is it right here. All right, so what did we have? So the last Bitcoin halving, I believe, was on July. I think it was right here on, anyway, it was right here in this general area. I don't have the exact date right now, but what I had noticed was we had a dump prior to the halving. We had some compression here. Okay, we had some compression prior to the halving, and then we ended up failing, right? We ended up failing right after it. So actually it was several days after it before it actually fell. So if Bitcoin is going to follow or at least rhyme a little bit, what I would expect to see, what I would expect to see is sideways movement, right? People are going to be expecting this to explode to the upside, and maybe it will this time, right? But if we continue just moving sideways for days and then getting into, I mean, look at the Bollinger Bands on this. They are very, very tightly compressed right here. Very, very tightly compressed, but trading below the 20 simple moving average, right? So on a Bollinger Band, you know, in case you aren't aware, on a Bollinger Band, regular industry standard settings, Bollinger Band, your basis on the Bollinger Band is just a simple 20, a 20 simple moving average. Nothing special there. Trading below that for, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a little over a week, right? We traded below that for a little over a week, and then it finally failed. So if we continue trading below that 20 simple moving average on a daily, I would say there is a good chance that we do fall. Now take a look at how wide the Bollinger Bands are here. So they're very wide. We did kind of push down below that 20 simple moving average on the daily prior to the halving. Okay, so I guess let's go ahead and take a look now. Are we below that now? No, we are not. We are currently above the 20 simple moving average on the daily. We're still above it. Okay, so you know, maybe this is going to be very different. Maybe this is going to be very different. But if we continue just moving sideways for days, and let's say maybe even it's going to take 2 weeks for this to happen, because a lot of times when things move into the future, they take longer. They take longer to occur. Okay. So if we continue moving sideways for say 2 weeks or so, you know, if we get ourselves underneath this 20 simple moving average, I would say that there is a high probability that we are going to just continue to fall. You know, maybe we're going to fall 20%. Maybe we're going to fall 30%. You know, maybe we fall 50%. We're at almost 9,000. So getting down to 4,500 is definitely not out of the question, you know, to come back down here into this range. So again, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens, but I do expect that we are going to just continue moving to the downside, watching for this range here between 6,000 and 6,900. We've been talking about this for a long time. It is probably going to happen, but yeah, we do need to fail some of these moving averages first. I know that we are currently, I think we're trading below the 21 exponential on the daily. Let's just go ahead and pull that on here and see. No, actually we're not. On the daily, we're still above all major moving averages. We're above all of them. We had a retest of the 200 simple moving average and the 200 exponential moving average. So, I mean, really, this doesn't look terrible. This doesn't look terrible. And I guess talking about market psychology, and then I'll go ahead and be done here. Talking about market psychology, everybody is expecting this thing to fall after the halving, and then we pump. So maybe it's going to do the opposite. Maybe we're going to pump prior to the halving and after the halving, and then get everybody thinking that this is it, and your last time to buy was right here at 8,100. And then after a couple weeks, then it finally does fall. We don't know what's going to happen. All I can say is based on what I see here, as soon as we fail this 21 exponential moving average on the daily, which currently is about 8,600, right? There's still 10 hours left in this day, 10 and a half hours left in this day. Plenty of time for this to close under here. Maybe we bounce around between the 200 or maybe between the 100 and the 55. You know, the 100, the 55, and the 200s are all trading right here at 8,000 to 7,900. The only thing that's way up here right now is the 21, which is again at about 85.75. So if we can get below this, and especially if we can get below this clustering here, I would say there is a good chance that we do move significantly down to about 6,000. But you know, right now we're still trading above all major moving averages on the daily. It's only the lower time frames that are looking a little weaker. We're trading below the 55 and the 21 on the 4-hour. We saw some consolidation, some chopping here at the 100 exponential, which is currently about 8,700. The 3-hour, which we watch, let's just take a look here on the hourly time frame. We just completed a bullish retest of the 21 exponential, but the 3-hour still looks decent, right? Still trying to trend up. The 3-hour still looks decent, which is why I think we can make it up to 9,300. Okay, if this is an A, a B, and then an A, B, C, moving ourselves up here, very well possible that this is what's going to happen next. We move ourselves to 9,300. On the hourly, we just did get a bearish retest of the 200. So lots of conflicting information. And again, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen next, but what we do know is history shows that there is usually a dump prior to the halving. We move sideways. Even after the halving, we will move sideways, and then we fall. So let's just see how long we stay in this range and if we are able to overtake 9,300. Okay. I think that's it for right now. I wanted to get my thoughts documented. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, good evening. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I will talk to you all on the Discord. If you'd like an invitation to the Discord, just throw in a comment here. And yeah, I guess just throw in a comment. Let me know if you want an invite, and I'll be more than happy to get one for you. Take care, everyone.